Hey everyone, it's Nancy, and I wanted to do a quick tutorial for you. I have been playing around with the really fun raffia that I got in my August design team kit from Wild Orchid Crafts, and I made some raffia flowers. So here's two of them, and here's another one. So just to show you, the different centers that you can use on them. Really quick, really easy. So let's get started. What you're going to do is you're going to take off about a yard of your raffia. These flowers that I just showed you were made with the natural buff. And then the one that we're going to do is with the caramel. So a couple things you're going to need. You're going to need your piercing mats. I have mine under here. You're going to need Tim Holtz ruler, preferably, since it has the piercing holes, and we're going to need those. You're going to need a circle for your base and then two small circles. You're going to need some thread of your choice. The one I'm using is the transparent nylon. You're going to need a piercing tool, some scissors, the glue of your choice, whatever you want to put in your center. This is a button with some of the divine twine, the baker's twine from Wild Orchid Crafts. This is the brown one. It's the one I'm using. And an iron. But the iron is completely up to you. So let me show you what I did. Okay, I took off a piece of the raffia. I cut off about a yard, and what I've done is I've just uncurled it, and once you uncurl it, it'll be about 1 inch wide, okay? And then with mine, I want it ultra smooth and flat, so I iron it. So this is to show you how it's ironed, okay? You don't have to do that. It's your preference, whatever you want to do. And then I take my piercing mats, and I just use a old foam mouse pad and then a piece of the really thick fun foam. And the reason I do that is because you can see how it goes through onto this mat when I pierce. And then I always use this mat to prevent me from going into my craft mat that's on my desk. So what you're going to do is I'm just going to use this piece right here that I ironed this first part. You're going to lay it out. You're going to take your Tim Holtz ruler and place the holes as close to the center as you can get. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to measure. And what I do with mine is I pierce them at the 1/4 inch mark all the way down. Now we're going to be doing a running stitch, and I did attempt to do the running stitch on my own without doing this, and I couldn't get it to do right. I really needed it spaced evenly. Okay, so just continue to do that throughout your entire piece, and you will have a piece like this. So I am trying to not rush, but rush through this. I already filmed it twice, and it was like 20 minutes long, so I got to cut it down. So you'll have your piece like this with the holes all the way through it, and those are the holes that you're going to use to do your running stitch. And for your running stitch, you're going to start at the bottom at your last hole and pull it all the way through, and then you're going to tie that tail from the hole to the end in a double knot just to secure it, and leave about this much of a tail, about 1 inch long as a tail, okay? And then you're going to go up and down and do your running stitch through the whole piece, okay? Once you have your running stitch done, you will have this, okay? So you can see here where I tied the bottom, well, probably not too well because it is transparent, where I tied it from the bottom hole to the end, and then there's the tail. And I did the running stitch along the whole piece. And then I have the needle and thread at the end. Leave this in here, okay? Don't take it out. And all we're going to do is slide the raffia down the string all the way to the end. And you'll have to go from the top, smush it down to the bottom, Start again at the top, smush it down, just until you get it crinkly, looking however far apart you want it, just simple pleats. Okay, you're going to take your larger circle that you're using for your base, put it on your piercing mat, and just pop a hole in the center. Again, it doesn't have to be exact, just as close to the center as you can get it. And I'm going to take this piece of raffia that's all wonderfully crinkled, and it's still on the needle. So I'm going to put the needle in the hole, and I'm going to pull that raffia to the center of the circle, like this. Okay? Now this is where the first part of your small circles come in. Just going to pull that across there. You're going to add some glue. I'm going to use some hot glue. Use whichever you feel comfortable with. And I'm going to put that circle right there to secure this string, and so that I can snip that tail off. And this is the end with the needle. Okay? So now you have this piece. Okay? All you're going to do is, the first thing I like to do is just take it around the circle, and y'all have probably done this with ribbon, so you know, you pretty much know. So just take it around the circle and just see how it's going to look. Okay? So once I've done that, I'll just take some glue, and I'm just going to start taking that raffia around in the circle and gluing it down. Pretty easy, pretty quick. You don't have to be, you know, exact on any of this. This is really an easy flower. Okay? And I know it doesn't look like much, but we're going to shape it up. Again, just continue to add glue just a little bit at a time to hold your pieces down. And then when I get to the end, I'll secure that. And then we have the little tail that you tied off on the end, and all we're going to do is flip the flower over, pull that string back across really tight, and then we're going to add some more glue, and then the other circle. Easy, easy, easy. You have this little tail, just snip it off, just like that. So now you can go in and play with your flower, fluff it up, kind of move it around a little bit, however you want it to be. And what I do is I pull it kind of away from the center, because I am going to put something down in that center. But you know, just do it how you want it. Before I do that, I'm going to go in with just a little bit of distress ink. I'm not going to re-ink this, just whatever's on my sponge. And I'm just going to tap the high parts on here, just to add a little depth. Again, no fuss, okay? So I'll fluff it out, because I did kind of pounce it down a little bit. And I'll move that center open. And I'm going to take my little button that I put the baker's twine on. I'm going to add some hot glue in the middle here. And I'm going to sit that button down right inside. And just adjust it to where I want it to be. Now any little strands from your hot glue, if you're using hot glue, you can just run your heat tool over it. It'll make those disappear. So there is a little flower, and again you can just continue to adjust it, move it around. Now the tighter that you make your raffia when you pull it down the string, the tighter it's going to be. This one I pulled really tight, this one not so tight, and this was made with the same amount that this was. So it's also going to give you a smaller flower. So if you want a bigger flower, just don't pull it so far down, okay, on your string. So that's it. They're really easy, really quick, and they're different. You know, there's, how many raffia flowers do you see? So it's just something nice and different that you can add to your project. And they're not really puffy, you know. They have some dimension, but not, you know, not a whole lot. So you can definitely use these on your layouts. You can puff them up even bigger if you want them even puffier. But again, you can just make them with your project. You can also mist these with your Lindy's or your Glimmer Mist, or you know, your homemade mist, whatever you have. So just make it, you know, to match your project and just do it your way. But I hope this gives you another idea of a way you can use your raffia. Raffia is pretty much ribbon, so whatever you can do with ribbon, you can pretty much do with this. So just have fun with it and play with it. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.